Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. Welcome to another Draftkings Week 14 video. This one is our Thursday video where I'm going to go through 5 top stacks for the weekend. Are they the only stacks that I think you can play? No. If I don't mention a stack, does that mean that they're not good? No. Am I going to play more than 5 this weekend? Yes. If you like somebody I don't like, does that mean I don't think you should play them? No. Those are the rules. Play whoever you like. These are just 5 that are standing out to me as really high ceiling plays that are going to help differentiate you from the field, A, and B, put you in a position to win a tournament this weekend. So this is how we go about things on my How to Win on DraftKings video. That's going to kind of pop up like over here on a thing. We talk about all the reasons why I double stack with a bring back in tournaments. You overweight the field. The field does not double stack and bring back as much as the top 100 in tournaments the past 3 years and including this year of data. So if you wanted to differentiate yourself from the field in a mathematical way that puts you on the right side of the math in order to attack all the money that's on top of the tournaments, this has historically been the way to go. So if you guys would do me the favor of dropping a like on the video, that would be great. I appreciate it. We have that rule, that 10% rule that we want to stay above. If this video gets 10,000 likes, got to have over 1,000 views. That's it. It's very simple and it's up to you. Subscribe to the channel. We are approaching 50,000 subscribers. When we get there, I think we're like 350 away now. We're getting close. When we get there, I will be doing a massive amount of giveaways, but you got to subscribe to win. Ring the notifications bell so that you get notified anytime I come out with new content all throughout football season and in the off season. And leave me a reply down below and let me know which stacks you really like this weekend. We're going to take a look at the Rotogrinders lineup HQ. As we do every week on this video. If you wanted a new subscription to Rotogrinders, use my link down below, smizzle.tv/Rotogrinders. That'll take you right to their site. They have great products and content and tools to help you build lineups, not just in NFL, but NBA, golf, college basketball, college football, everything. So go take a look at their great content and their great tools, and let's get to the top 5 stacks of the week. Let's go!
He's a legend.
Ms. Gang Listener League for week 14. We got about 814 people in it. It is bigger this week, 3,250 people, 3 max, $10 to enter, absolutely no rake. So all the money that comes in gets paid back out. I will shout out the top 10 finishers on the recap video, which is on the second channel, Al Smizzle Games, every single Monday afternoon, as well as some other content that's going to get juiced up as the off season comes along. Box openings for football and basketball cards, NFT stuff, talk, crypto stuff, everything else is on that second channel. So go check that channel out if you want the recap to find out my recap on how I did the previous weekend, as well as if you finish in the top 10, you get your shout out on that video. My first stack of the week is the one that's on the cover, Tom Brady. I mean, he basically has, don't fact check me, I'm sure someone will go on this, 4 or more touchdowns in basically as many games as he has had less than 4 touchdowns this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times Tom Brady has had 4 or more touchdowns. I said this on the CSS DFS podcast on ESPN this morning, another reference that Mike Clay did not get. He's kind of like the plates from the Franklin Mint. I'm not saying that Tom Brady is going to have 4 touchdowns or more this week against the Buffalo Bills, but every other time he has. Very easy to stack him. Chris Godwin getting 19% of the targets. This is on the year in total every game. 18% for Mike Evans. Leonard Fournette leading the league in terms of running back catches at 14%, or sorry, running back targets at 14%. He's leading the league in running back catches. He's getting 14% of the market share of targets. Antonio Brown falling because as he has gone away, we have seen Gronkowski, Fournette, Evans, and Godwin see the vast majority of the targets. Yeah, we're going to get a little Brait sprinkled in there. We're probably going to get a little Perriman sprinkled in there. Maybe Tyler Johnson gets a little bit of a peak, just a peak this week. But like realistically speaking, it's consolidated around those 4 guys. Now, I have said that I will usually utilize the quarterback double to get away from using a running back in the stack, right? So if a running back is going to be really highly or heavily played, I'm not going to utilize them in the stack, but everybody has been trying to leverage Brady doubles with Leonard Fournette, and everybody on weeks where Leonard Fournette is going to be chalk has been overly trying to utilize one against the other, and they both end up being heavily played. But based on his catch expectation, I'm going to let Leonard Fournette live in this group where I will allow him to be in there. And if I'm getting too much, I'll weight him down. We're going to use 2 of these 2. That's that for this right here. And let's move on to our next stack, which is Josh Allen on the exact other side of the game. So Josh Allen has been very, very good. And in games where they have like an expected team point, like a total over 50, he's averaged like 30 DraftKings points per game. We've spoken numerous times this year how Josh Allen has like 5 or 6 games a year where he is a potential tournament winning quarterback. And in those games where he is that, games where he scores 30 plus fantasy points, right? 5 or 6 times a year. He's already done it in week 3. He did it in week 5. He did it in week 6. He's been above 25 a few other times as well, with 28.7 in week 12, 29 points in week 8. And then the wind and snow game last week against New England, we can cross that one off. But who are you going to partner him with? Steph Diggs, 25% of the market share targets. Cole Beasley, I think, is extremely interesting this week. Tampa Bay plays like the 3rd most zone in the league, and Cole Beasley's expectation on a yards per catch basis and a target percentage basis go up when he's playing against a zone team and down when he's playing against primarily man-to-man defense. So this is another spot where Cole Beasley can theoretically or possibly get off. And we have the possibility, if this game shoots out, Josh Allen throws it 40 times, that could mean 8+ targets for Beasley. Emmanuel Sanders, Dawson Knox, like every time they get close, he just goes to Dawson Knox, like, because Josh Allen loves targeting his tight ends when they get around the goal line. Not going to utilize the running backs in those stacks. Sweeney Todd not going to be in there. Will include Manny Sanders. Him will allow for Gabe Davis, but I will probably minimize him a little bit. He's getting a lot of usage around the goal line. 3,500 in a week where it's tough to find value. So if you want to use him as a differentiation or part of a secondary stack, that's fine. I know I'm going to get asked, should we game stack this game and go with, a double stack with Allen and 2 of his receivers, or Brady in a double stack and bring it back with 2 other guys? That's fine, but you're putting an awful lot of weight on that one game. It can be sustained though. Like this seems like a spot where I would not be shocked if this game ends up like, 38-35, as both defenses may not be able to stop what the other offense brings to the table. So I'm going to make sure that we have 2 there in that. As I mentioned in the intro, we're approaching 50,000 subscribers. And if you click that button, you can help us get there. We'll be going to be doing a bunch of giveaways to Rotogrinders, Establish a Run, some DraftKings stuff, and some Underdog stuff as well, to people who are subscribed to the channel. Once we hit that 50K mark, it's going to be a big celebration. And thank you guys for supporting the content over the years. Would love it if you are watching this video and not subscribed. Usually, I believe that our number is 42% of our viewers are not subscribed to the channel, and 6 out of every 7 are returning viewers. So most of you have been watching this content, and some of you, about 42%, are not subscribed. So if you would click that button and help us get there this week, we can start these giveaways just next week with subscriptions to both of those sites, and maybe some tickets and things to DraftKings and Underdog. Our next stack, Justin Herbert. He's done nothing but put up massive weeks about half the time, kind of like Tom Brady, right? 29 points, 38 points, 34 points, and then he has his peaks and valleys as well. I'm not saying that you need to play him in cash. We're only concerned with the top end, right? We want that 48, we want that 30+ point output when we're paying 7K or above. Just the possibility that it gets there. And the New York Giants are a defense that can be had. They're also an offense. Now, granted, they're probably going to be starting Jake Fromm, and hopefully he can put a few points on the board. If they can score 17 to 20 points, the Giants this weekend, that's good for us if we are stacking with Justin Herbert, because the more points they put on the board, the less they get throttled, the more the Chargers have to put their foot on the pedal. Now, what's interesting this week is what is potentially going to be missing out of this stack. Keenan Allen is in COVID protocols, gets 27% of the market share targets, and Mike Williams is at 21%. We don't know if they are going to be out. We don't know if they are going to clear just yet, based on the news that I have while I'm recording this video. So we got to set up a bunch of if-then statements. 1, Austin Eckler is in play, and again, like Fournette, is a running back at 15% or higher that I would allow to be included in these quarterback stacks. 15% is kind of my number. If I can't project you're going to get 15% of the market share targets from a quarterback, then why am I playing you? And he is also a pay up to be contrarian type play. Jared Cook, unaffected, and has been unspectacular this year. Like, he almost has to score a touchdown in order to pay this off because of how much run Donald Parham has been getting. We've also seen Steven Anderson featured in 1 or 2 games this year where they're kind of cannibalizing each other. 3 tight ends is not better than 1. But if Keenan Allen is out and Mike Williams plays, then I would probably be interested in Josh Palmer, who is running a lot of routes out of the slot. So he would fill that Keenan Allen. I'm not saying he's going to fill the Keenan Allen role, but he would take those Keenan Allen snaps and would theoretically see a solid amount of targets, but not 10 plus. If Mike Williams is out, I would probably prefer Guyton, who will play more on the outside, and that would be with Keenan Allen in. If both are out, all bets are off, and just play Eckler, Cook, and Palmer, and I lost him, and Guyton, and you get after it. So basically, we come back over here to the Rotogrinders lineup HQ. We'll come down here to Herbert, make sure that we're stacking 2. Not going to include him. Will include Eckler in this stack. Not going to include Parham unless things kind of change. Again, I don't know that just yet. We'll leave Guyton in there. We're going to take Maurice out. Going to leave Palmer. Going to take out Roberts. Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. Just, we're going to have to figure out who's in and who's out. And then build our stacks accordingly. So I know that that's not the most definitive information, but it's Thursday as I'm recording this. Adjust to the news as it breaks. Patrick Mahomes is our 4th stack on the day. Guys, you remember when Patrick Mahomes was a really good quarterback and could put up like 30 fantasy points? Well, he still can. And against Las Vegas, when they palindromed the Raiders in Las Vegas, he put up 406 yards, 5 touchdowns, 39.24 DraftKings points. He has the ability to put up 25 plus to 35 DraftKings points anytime he takes the field with this offense. They are playing in Kansas City. This is another great spot. We saw also what Tyreek Hill did to them last time. He is also receiving about 31% of the target market share. Very, very good. Travis Kelce, 25%. People are worried that Travis Kelce is still, he's not the guy that he was before. He's not that great. He's still the tight end 1 on the season. He's not putting up 24 DraftKings points a game, but he can put up 25 DraftKings points any single week. And you would have to assume that the Raiders are going to adjust their defense from that first matchup a few weeks ago to what they're doing right now. And Mecole Hardman at 15% has basically been relegated now behind Byron Pringle, who has played 80% of the snaps the last 2 weeks and ran way more routes than Mecole Hardman. And Demarcus Robinson has moved into that secondary role behind Byron Pringle. So Byron Pringle lining up on the outside a lot, and he's very cheap. So I like him as the secondary guy there in Kansas City at his price. I think he's like $3,200 this week. Isn't that the price? I'm not going to include either running back, as CEH and Williams are basically splitting like 50-50 in terms of snaps right now, cannibalizing each other. I hate that. $3,200 for Pringle. Sure, I'll leave Robinson in there. I'm not going to include Gordon in these stacks. I don't want to include Mecole Hardman at all. This is probably where I'm going to center most of my play around, and I'm going to have to manicure my weights on those guys using the lineup builder before we're all done. And my last stack of the day is always the puke stack, Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill's going to grade very well in any projection set that you use this week because of the fact that in his last 3 starts, he's basically averaged like 47 attempts or opportunities, right? And that means attempts passing and rushing. This is a lot of volume. Now, when it comes to throwing quarterbacks, efficiency and not volume, right? Efficiency meaning touchdowns and volume meaning attempts. Volume does not dictate how much success you can have as a quarterback. Efficiency does. Turning those things into touchdowns is what does that. But if you're going to have Taysom Hill throwing the ball, let's say 30 to 40 times, which they have done in his previous 3 starts, and they're going to run him 8 to 15 times, which they have done in his previous 3 starts, he gives you a ridiculous floor against this Jets defense, which has been awful against opposing running backs this season. And Taysom Hill, when he runs the ball, is essentially running back, like designed runs for him to just be a running back with one more blocker in front of him, right? When you run it with your quarterback, or you do a direct snap to a running back who's lined up at quarterback, there's one less player that is not accounted for. When a quarterback hands the ball off, they are then out of the play. So you're playing 10 on 11. When you run the ball with your quarterback or direct snap to a Wildcat running back, you now have an exact number. You're essentially playing like 11 on 9 when you hand the ball off because the ball carrier, 9 blockers. You have 10 on 11 when you have a ball carrier in this. So like it adds up to have more blockers, more hats per hats, which can lead to even better efficiency running the football against the Jets. So they're really bad at defending that, and we know that he can run it. But what I'm really interested in is that the Jets allow a lot of passing touchdowns as well, especially more recently. And if he throws the ball 35 times this weekend, you're going to have the opportunity to pair him with Marquise Callaway, assuming that Alvin Kamara is back, especially in the absence of Mark Ingram. He's probably not going to challenge downfield as much to Deontay Harris or Traquan Smith, and that's going to allow us to still double stack. You don't have to if you don't want to. It is a unique situation, maybe the most unique quarterback situation that exists, but I think that pairing him with a Juwan Johnson, with an Alvin Kamara, if you wanted to go with anybody else, Lil Jordan Humphrey, my favorite name so far this year in NFL DFS, Ty Montgomery, Callaway, Traquan Smith, whoever it is, I'm probably still going to be double stacking Hill. I will allow it to use one if that's the way you want to go, because there is a possibility that he does run into throws for 1 touchdown, but those attempts do lead to targets, and those targets do lead to catches, and it allows you to differentiate, especially with value on a week where it's tough to find value, and you're going to get these guys at really low percentages in tournaments. So those are my 5 stacks on the week. We're going to go right over here. Where do we go? We go to build. It's just going to build 10. Don't build 10. Well, it's going to build 10 because I didn't set it to build 150. You build as many lineups as you want. It's going to spit them out. Spend a lot of time getting yourself used to that lineup HQ over at Rotogrinders. Use the link down below in the pinned comment. There will also be a link in that pinned comment for the listener league as well. Jump in there, make sure that we fill it. Maybe they'll make it bigger in week 15. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch up to you later. Bye.
He's a legend.